Okay, in this short video, I will explain you what are endpoints. Endpoints define where your data will be delivered. When you are performing a new integration, you have to send the data somewhere. So endpoints define to where the data will go. I'm just going to go to the endpoints interface, and you can see this is very similar to the previous interfaces, and I'm just going to create a new endpoint to highlight these properties. The endpoint, as the others, starts with identifier, a title, and a description. After this, we have the publisher. The publisher is the most important property regarding the endpoints. Publishers define where the data will be sent to, and we can send data to a SQL database. We can send data to a URL, for instance, for calling a REST web service. We can send emails for you to anyone that you want, or we can write data to files. You can also use the file system to write data to a Dropbox file. However, the Dropbox account must be connected to the user. So let's say we are now testing the endpoints. And let's see, for a SQL publisher, you have to specify all the configuration properties. MySQL, a Postgres database, the host, the port, database username, password, and the query that you will be performing. For a URL, you need to specify if you want to do a post or a get to the URL, the URI that you are posting to, the kind of message that you are posting to this application, if it's an XML file or a JavaScript file or a simple text file, and the content. If, for instance, you're using form data, you can also specify the parameters that should be included in that form. For the email publishers, you need to specify at least the two address, a subject, and a message. You can also CC or BCC anyone that you want. Let's create a sample file publisher. In this endpoint, you need to specify what you're going to do with the file, append the file, create a new file, or delete the existing files. In this case, I'm going to append to a file. If the file does not exist, the file will be created. So now I'll just create a file called diary.csv. It will be a CSV file, and then I'll specify the content. This is where the magic plays along. In the content section, or in any other section for the other publishers, you need to specify the variables with the data loaded by the agents. So what happens is your content or your destination or your URL should include only the variables that will be extracted by the agents. What ARiiP will do will be to move along those variables to the endpoint, and they will be transformed and delivered. So what we need to create now is an endpoint with those same variables. Let's say we can have the title here, we can have the author, we can have the content, and at last we have the URL. If, let's say, you want to have some internal functions, the ARiiP platform also allows you to do that. So you can write a function in direct code, and you can specify Ruby code here, or you can use one of the internal functions. It can be ARiiP datetime, and it will add the time of the execution for this delivery. Let's just do a new line here, and we can create this endpoint. There you go. You can see that we have no events for this endpoint. It is of type file, and here are the publishing properties. This means that you'll create a new daring.csv file on your user workspace. The method will be append, and the content for the file will be the following. So now you can see the endpoints in the system. You can also have sample endpoints that we already created for you uh, using functional data that connects to the integrations. For instance, if you want to add to a database, you can just add this sample template, this sample endpoint.